Umagang kay ganda, everyone. Rise and shine, grade 7 students. Welcome back to Valenzuela Facebook live streaming in grade 7 science. I am Mr. Caezar B. Penuela from Paso de Blas National High School, and I will be your live stream teacher and study buddy for today. So, before we formally start our exciting lesson, let us first take note of some reminders regarding our virtual class. First, please make sure that you are seated comfortably in your learning area that is free from any distractions. Second, join our interactive class using your smartphones, tablets, and laptops. Feel free to type and comment your ideas, answers, and questions in the comment section. Lastly, get your writing materials and science module from your bags to get along with our lesson. Before we go deeper into our lesson, let me share with you the most essential learning competency that you should be able to master today. Explain how solar and lunar eclipses occur using models. Anchored in this most essential learning competency are these specific learning targets. 1. Construct and illustrate a model to describe the position of the Sun, Moon, Earth system during solar and lunar eclipse. Number 2, differentiate solar and lunar eclipse. Number 3, explain how solar and lunar eclipses occur. And number 4, relate partial and total eclipse to penumbra and umbra. So now, are you ready to learn? If yes, then make yourself comfortable and join me as we study our lesson. Let us have first our recap about the last topic that you have learned. I will post a question in the screen and you just need to comment the letter of the correct answer. Number 1. What are the 4 seasons of the Earth? Okay, the correct answer is letter D, spring, summer, winter, and fall. Number 2, what is the hottest season of the year? Okay, so the correct answer is letter A, summer. Number 3, what is the coldest season of the year? Okay, so the correct answer is letter B, winter. Number 4, which season has the shorter days but longer nights? Okay, so the correct answer is letter D, winter. Lastly, number 5, what causes the Earth's season? Okay, so the correct answer is letter C, the Earth's tilt. Nice job! You had really learned the last topic that was discussed. I think you are already prepared to unveil our lesson. Look at this picture. What do you observe with this picture? Okay, very good. That is a shadow. But my question is, how do shadows form? Yes, that is right. Shadows are produced when an object blocks the path of light. We talk about shadows because our lesson is very related to this. Now, I will show you another picture. What do you think is in the picture? What phenomenon is that? Great. That phenomenon is what we call as eclipse. Let us now focus on eclipse. When we say eclipse, it is a phenomenon that occurs when a heavenly body, just like the moon or planet, moves into the shadow of another heavenly body. We have two types of eclipse: the solar and lunar eclipse. Let us differentiate the two. When we say solar eclipse, it is a type of eclipse when the moon crosses sun's plane while orbiting the earth and comes in front of the sun, which obscures the view either partly or entirely. The next one is the lunar eclipse. This type of eclipse occurs when the moon moves to the shadow of the earth and the earth blocks the sun's light from reaching the moon. In the next slides, I will show you the model of solar and lunar eclipse. Let's move on. This is a model of a solar eclipse. As you can see, the moon blocks the sun's light that passes through the earth. Now, let us discuss the different types of shadows that are produced during eclipse. These are umbra, penumbra, and antumbra. Umbra is the dark center portion of a shadow of an eclipse. Next is penumbra. It is the lighter outer part of a shadow during eclipse. And the last one is antumbra. It is the lighter part of a shadow that forms at a certain distance from the object casting a shadow. Moving forward, let us talk about the three types of solar eclipse. So first one, we have total solar eclipse. If the moon fully covers the sun and its umbra and penumbra are casted on earth. Partial solar eclipse if the moon covers only a part of the sun and penumbra is casted on earth. Annular solar eclipse if the moon's disk covers the center of the sun's disk and its antumbra are casted on the earth. So these are the pictures of the three kinds of solar eclipse. This is another model of a solar eclipse. Lunar eclipse has also three types. These are total lunar eclipse, partial lunar eclipse, and penumbral lunar eclipse. Total lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth completely covers the moon and blocks the light from reaching the moon. Partial lunar eclipse occurs when the moon enters the Earth's umbra, but not completely, such that the sunlight partially reaches the moon. Penumbral lunar eclipse occurs when the moon enters the penumbra of the Earth, but sunlight reaches it because this region is not fully obscured from sun rays. If you see the lunar eclipse last Wednesday, May 26, 2021, it is an example of lunar eclipse. This is a model of a lunar eclipse. Next one, you see the pictures of these types of lunar eclipse. Did you know that the ancient Filipino people associated the eclipse into a mythical creature? That creature is Bakunawa. Bakunawa is a serpent-like dragon that eats the moon. When the eclipse occurred, the ancient Filipino people make loud noises and bang their drums, believing that it will stop Bakunawa from devouring the moon. Let us now sum up the concepts that we had discussed. So I want you to complete this paragraph. Blank occurs when a heavenly body, like moon or a planet, moves to the shadow of another heavenly body. There are two types of eclipse, the blank eclipse and blank eclipse. During eclipse, there are three types of shadows that are being shown. These are blank, penumbra, and blank. Solar eclipse and lunar eclipse have three types each. For solar eclipse, we have blank, partial solar eclipse, and blank solar eclipse. While for lunar eclipse, we have total lunar eclipse, blank lunar eclipse, and blank lunar eclipse. Let us now answer these some concepts. Eclipse occurs when a heavenly body, like moon or planet, moves to the shadow of another heavenly body. There are two types of eclipse: the solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. During eclipse, there are three types of shadows that are being shown. These are umbra, penumbra, and antumbra. Solar eclipse and lunar eclipse have three types each. For solar eclipse, we have total solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse, and annular solar eclipse. While for lunar eclipse, we have total lunar eclipse, partial lunar eclipse, and penumbral lunar eclipse. Now, let us test your understanding. You just need to type the letter of the correct answer in the comment section. Number 1, it occurs when the sunlight is blocked by the moon. What is this phenomenon? Okay, the correct answer is letter A, solar eclipse. Number 2, a type of a solar eclipse wherein the moon covers the disk of the sun. Okay, so the correct answer is letter B, partial lunar eclipse. Number 3, it is a type of lunar eclipse that the Earth's shadow partially covers the moon. Okay, so the correct answer is letter D, annular solar eclipse. Number 4, a type of lunar eclipse wherein the moon enters the Earth's penumbra. Okay, so for the correct answer, it is letter C, penumbral lunar eclipse. For the last number, number 5, it is the dark centermost part of a shadow during an eclipse. So, the correct answer is letter A, umbra. This time, the floor is now open for some clarifications and questions that you have in mind. Feel free to use the comment box to ask pertinent questions, and I will try to answer them accordingly. I will monitor your questions in the comment box. You have a minute to key in your questions. Okay. Question number 1. How often solar eclipse occur? Solar eclipse happen twice or 4 times a year. Question number 2. How often lunar eclipse happen? On average, there are 2 to 3 lunar eclipses that occur every year, but not all of it are total lunar eclipse. And for the last question, why is it needed to wear protective eyewear when looking at the solar eclipse? It is needed because if you look directly to the solar eclipse, it can result to a burned retina, which is called solar retinopathy or solar maculopathy. Thank you for those who sent their questions. To deepen your understanding about this lesson, kindly attend to your follow-up lesson with your respective science teachers. Prepare your module and answer the assigned weekly activities. If you do not have any more questions, then let's call it a day.